Hey guys, what's going on? It's Mike with FormAWin here to help you guys get your first engineering job, of course. And we have our best client here, Trey. He just got his first internship. Let's get into it. Can't wait to hear his story. Let's rock. Trey, welcome in. Thank you for joining us here. Super happy to have you as a client. I know you've been working really hard and you just got your first internship, man. Super proud of you.
The University of Central Florida. I've been with FormAWin for over 4 months now, and it's been incredible. Finally, just got my first internship, my first offer. I'm glad to be here to talk about it today.
Awesome. So where's it at?
So it's at Kimley-Horn for a civil engineering internship, which is funny because I'm actually an aerospace engineering student. But we were just sending out so many applications, just trying to break into the career field. Kimley-Horn's been a top 100 Fortune company for the last, I think, at least 3 years, but they've gotten it a bunch. So really good company to work for, a lot of connections, great team. And through networking events, which I'll talk a little bit more about later, I was able to secure the internship. It was throughout like the course of multiple events and meeting engineers and things like that. So it was a long process, but finally got it for the summer, and I'm really excited about it.
I love it, man. Yeah, no, I'm super proud of you. You kind of just took everything we gave you, ran with it, made it your own, right? And that's the name of the game too, especially when you're entering into an engineering company or trying to find your first internship or excel on a project. A lot of it is being that self-starter, right? Because you're given
Mhm.
direction and we gave you the coaching direction, all the game plans and everything, but then you kind of took it, made it your own, and just excelled beyond belief. So again, I'm super proud of you for that. But we're gonna get into a lot of details here, everybody. So make sure you have a pen, piece of paper, especially if you're looking for your first internship. You kind of get a little bit of a deep dive into what we do in FormAWin. Obviously, it's not the specifics, super detailed, but you can look through the process, kind of analyze your own game plan that you have for yourself, and then add to it, make it your own. So, Trey, what got you into engineering?
I think what it really was is I always had a thing for math, that I really enjoyed it. I had some great teachers. And before coming into college, so it was my senior year of high school, I visited the Kennedy Space Center at NASA, and it was just super inspiring. And I knew I wanted to go some sort of math or engineering route. And I definitely enjoy being on a team, solving problems, things like that. So I chose aerospace engineering and just ran with it. And it's been great ever since. I'm now a junior, like I said. And yeah.
I love it, man. Yeah, I mean, it's super cool, especially just how we all break into the field. We all have different reasons, so I love that.
Mm.
So, kind of going through this process, right? Finding your first internship, or maybe just in college in general, what are some of the biggest struggles you faced going through this process? Before FormAWin, maybe during, but like more so just trying to find your first internship before, maybe.
So definitely something that everyone deals with, obviously time management. So something that this program has helped me with a lot is like goal setting and accountability. Like I'll check in with Dalio here and tell them, hey, this is what I want to get done for the week through the FormAWin program. And we do it and we carry it out. Sometimes maybe I can't get something done, but the accountability factor of it is what really makes the difference. We'll do daily and weekly check-ins. So then it's always on your mind because there's that statistic that you're 70% more likely to get a goal done if you write it down. So it kind of like works along those lines. Plus, I've gotten a lot better at like using a calendar and like just knowing what I'm going to do for the day instead of it being wasted by, something else. And so that's definitely helped a lot. So throughout college, my time management has gotten better and it's definitely like accelerated through this program. So for finding an internship and that process and stuff, it's really about consistency. You can have an off day or two, but as long as that doesn't, trickle over into consecutive days, you're gonna form a win, basically.
That's right. I love it. So when we first reached out to you, right, what were your initial thoughts?
So I think it was on LinkedIn, and I was excited at first. Michael Dalu here is a systems engineer at Lockheed Martin, and I'm of course like that's a big company I would love to work for. And I was like, oh wow, like because usually it's the other way around, right? I'm hitting up the
Yep.
guy, and so I was interested, and obviously you seemed very passionate about your coaching program, and I saw that, and I know it's It's something we have to get into and earn, and it's very selective. And so I was super proud that, you were willing to take me on a call. And so we did. And now it's been, I think it's what, 4 months, right? Four or
Yeah, something
five?
like that. Yep.
Yeah. And,
Or-
got my first internship. So some people might be quicker, some people might be longer, but, I intend to stay because this was just the first step because we're definitely going to excel from here. Yeah.
Indeed, man, indeed. So now after entering the program, we already talked a little bit about the check-in process, but how did you find the process beneficial, right? So we talked a little bit of accountability. So what are
Mhm.
some other areas maybe you found beneficial in the FormAWin process? Maybe the coaching aspect of it, just all that's involved with it. Well, what are some areas you found beneficial about
Addition to like the coaching calls that we'd have together in which like I tell you what's going on with me, you consult with me, offer me advice. The other thing that's really great about it is the community because it's not just me, that Michael Dolly is talking to, but he'll bring other people on our meetings, which we meet every week as a team as well. And so that's always great to hear from other people, different perspectives, a better way to understand your own perspective. Um, and through the community as well, like we all stay up to date in a school community. And so in there, like I can see what's going on in their lives. Or maybe I can share something about mine. Like recently, like every other day or so, I've been talking about like a networking event coming up and, someone might see that and benefit from it. And that's great. And I'd love to like help other people, especially now that I've got an internship and I can, stress a little bit less about oh, I really, need an internship, so now I can hopefully help others. But yeah, that's something that I thought was great about too, community, because these are people that I might, have lunch or coffee with like 10 years from now. Like, oh, like Christian, who I think you just interviewed on YouTube
it?
as
Right.
well. Yeah, saw half the video. I need to watch the rest of that. He's great. We've met up a few times. And yeah, things
Awesome,
like that.
man. I love it. Yeah. So, next question here is going to be a big part of Formula One is building relationships and working that people engineering side of things, right? So, how about guiding you through developing relationships and building connections? What was your thoughts with that? How did you find that beneficial? Talk to me.
Okay, so actually, this is funny because one of the first meeting I had with you, I remember you told me go up to a few random people and just get their name, get their number, talk to them. And I'm a little more outgoing, but I know like that's still so important, especially for a lot of people to just get out of their shell, just be able to talk. And things like that are kind of what's important, like especially with phone calls too, like making a phone call. I think that's something like everyone struggles with, some more than others. Like even me, sometimes I'll like procrastinate a phone call. Like it could be for anything. It could be for family. It could be for that friend you haven't checked in for a while with, or it could be, a mentor or someone in the industry that you may be nervous about because, oh, what if I say the wrong thing? And through this program, I definitely got better about communicating and just doing it. And that comes like full circle back to the accountability thing. Because you have someone in your corner who's, anticipating that you're going to make these calls, make these connections, reach out on LinkedIn, do the follow-ups, write the emails, send in the application. So it makes it worth it.
Awesome, man. Exactly. And just kind of building off of that too, with all of our clients, everyone's unique in their approach to like you were heavy with the
Mhm.
networking, which was great because that worked out for you. Everyone is going to have their own spin on what works for them and where their goals are going to align. And we kind of just took what you were good at, really emphasize it, made it work, and then you obviously saw the benefits about that. So, the next question here is going to be after we met up a few times, apply some concepts, started with the check-ins and kind of everything that we just talked about, did you start noticing results immediately? Like, how was the results between when you started and now?
I wouldn't say immediately, but definitely like it wasn't, too long to where it was discouraging. Because again, it's about that consistency. But I definitely saw a ton of connections grow immediately. And out of those connections, for every maybe 100 connections, you get 5 interviews or whatever the case may be. Of course, I was applying to a lot more jobs. I had like 3 interviews. Unfortunately, I didn't get those jobs, but the experience of like, the interview and the connection, which some of them I'm still in an email thread with today, is great. And, it might change in the future. You never know. Like maybe when I leave Kimley-Horn, I go back to another company that I interviewed for and they're like, oh, wow, like, checking in. I've even done that on LinkedIn before, like, hey, haven't talked in a bit. This is what's new with me, research, projects, yada, yada. So now I'd say my internship. So definitely like it's not going to happen like overnight. But if you remain consistent, you set your win checks, you reach the goals, and you track it all out, see what you need to do, what do I need to improve, what's good, it'll pay off, and it has. So
Awesome, man. Yeah, it's all about that compounding effect. And then once we're going through those as well, kind of strategizing what went well, what didn't go well, then obviously we talked, we checked, and we had our weekly calls. Everything is geared towards that compounding effect and then taking things, applying it, and just letting it rise, like with you, with your skill set, with how you talk, with just everything we're doing. So you obviously kind of took that each week, let it compound, and now we're at where we're at. So I mean, I love it, man. So again, super proud of you. I can't say that enough because you really just went out there and went above and beyond, right? If I said to do one thing, like go reach out to three people a day or go to talk to people, right? You doubled it, and that's a big part about being successful in really making these things happen and getting your first internship, whether you're in a coaching program or not, right? Like you just need to under promise and over deliver, and you over delivered every time. So that's a big part about it, man. It's awesome, man. So what's next question we have for you is gonna be what's your favorite part about form?
favorite part about FormAWin, probably. I would say like the check-ins and like having like a calendar. Because like okay, so before this program, I was so bad like I wouldn't even use a calendar. And then I blame myself maybe for like not getting something done. Like I knew like I needed to do it, but something else would come up. But like having a calendar and like really actually using it, like setting out like down to 30 minutes or 15, what you're gonna do like really helps. And so like having an accountability factor like tied in with that like really helped me. And then obviously like getting on calls with you and the team and like hearing what, everyone's doing or an accomplishment, like that's always great. Like being able to do this is great because it's rewarding at the end of the day. So
I love it, man. Exactly. It's the name of the game. So
mhm.
next up's going to be about you, maybe some goals we have for the future. What are some of your long-term goals here?
So long-term goals is I'd like to start my own manufacturing company that like prioritizes in propulsion parts. And the reason for that is I think the manufacturing industry is going to boom, and I think the aerospace industry is and will continue to boom. And so I'm very grateful that I chose the engineering degree I did. So although I'm going into a civil engineering program, it's very CAD based, and I think I'll learn a lot and it'll still be very applicable. Like I'm going to be learning permitting processes. There's still loads of fluids involved with drainage and wastewater management, structural load analysis, or analysis. So like that's, it's all going to tie in and I could leverage that experience and knowledge for maybe a more applied internship, say at SpaceX in the fall or spring, and then maybe a full-time position. I think between 1 to 2 companies for like about 5 years. And then I feel like by then I'll really know like, okay, what do I need to do? Like, and then I want to start my own business with the connections I've made
I love it. Yeah. And it's
for the
super
long
important to
term.
dream big too, right? So like a
Mhm.
big thing we talk about with FormAWin and I mean a lot of our clients too is just dreaming big. If we shoot for the stars and we hit the moon, then great. And a
Mhm.
lot of people kind of put an internship on a super high pedestal where like that's like the dream and like that's it, right? But if we're thinking bigger like you are, then it becomes a little bit different with how we act and how we move with intent because all these daily actions and all these things we're doing is with a bigger intent, right? Because the internship is just a step to the way where we want to go to make our family proud, make ourselves proud, and live out our biggest dreams possible, right? So that's also why this kind of moved fluidly for you because you have that big goal, you have those ambitions, and all that stuff that it takes to become the person that deserves all that stuff you worked on daily, especially with our program, everything you do outside of the program as well. Just everything compounds and everything intertwines with each other. So then that way, once you got the internship, it's like, okay, boom, next. So I love it. That's awesome, man. Next is going to be, do you plan on do you plan on staying part of Formula One?
So as a full circle here is in the first week, Michael encouraged me to sign up for, I think, 5 networking events, which is crazy, but I did do it. Or it was three, 4, or 5, but I don't know. I think I did like 5 or 6, but I didn't go to one of them because it was like really far away. But I went to 5 networking events, and one of them was the career fair at UCF. The other two were a little more exotic, but the career fair, right? You go to the career fair. If you ever have one at your school, definitely go to it if someone's watching this and is a student. It's worth it. And I went to the Kimley-Horn booth and I met a man named Adam Colson. And he was a recruiter and he was telling me about the mechanical engineering internship, electrical engineering, civil engineering. I'm aerospace, but like everything he was saying was really interesting. Like they do big development projects. He was like, oh yeah, we did that building and that building and that building. And it was really interesting. And that was kind of the end of it. I followed up with him after, followed up with like everyone I met. He didn't get back to me or anything like that. And then about a month ago now, I went to a real estate networking event at the Society of Orlando, in Orlando, Florida. And Adam wasn't there, but there were engineers there who built that whole project. And I was talking to them, telling them, I'm interested in an internship. And they're like, oh, you'll have to speak to Adam. And I was like, oh, funny enough. And I told them, and then so they connected to Adam. So that's two networking events just for the first connection. Adam got back to me, and then I got the interview. And so as soon as I knew I had the interview, I followed up with those engineers, with Adam, like grew my network on LinkedIn. I'm like talking to everyone. So hopefully, like, because it could be one person that just says something to the recruiter or hiring manager. So if you talk to 40 people and two of them say a word, I mean, that's enough, right? And so I went into my interview and I got the call last Tuesday or Wednesday. Adam called me up, asked me about how the interview was, talked to me for like 10 to 20 minutes, and then told me, hey, I don't want to hold this info from you. And then he told me I got the job. So I was really excited. So yeah, definitely going to stay at FormAWin. That was like the first step. Like I was just saying with my long-term goals is eventually that business. So now we got the internship, can learn things, get that knowledge, leverage that experience, and keep going. Like now it's kind of a corporate culture. It's a 40-hour work week. I don't know how to do that. You need a mentor for that. Or at least I think so. And then after that is the next step, right? Still going to be applying for jobs. It's so ahead of time, fall, spring, summer 2026 for NASA just opened. I mean, it's crazy, but yeah, definitely got to take some next steps. So yes, I'm staying in the
100%.
program.
Awesome, man. I love to hear it. And then, last but not least, this is going to conclude our interview here. We've already talked a lot of advice and everything. We really went through a lot of detail here. So everyone watching, again, rewatch this, take some notes, apply it to your own life, right? But Trey, what's one last piece of advice you have for students?
Um, I forget who the quote's by. I want to say it's Benjamin Franklin, but persistency and energy outpace all things. That's it. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I love it, man.
That's
Everyone
a good
watching, thank you so much. Trey, you're a killer. You're a savage. You're going to do great things in the
one.
world. Super happy to have you here. Everyone watching, feel free to reach out if you need help with anything. Everything's linked down in the description. Talk to you guys later. Go form a win. Bye, everyone.
You guys.